yourselves to our...
Jay Gordon from Orgy. How are you guys?
Great. Well, it has been quite a number of years since we've seen Orgy on the road.
Yeah, it's been 7 or so.
So how's it feel to be back out? Good?
Good. Yeah, it feels really good. I got a little sick because the weather has been like so brutal. Like snowing, tornadoes. We've been through it all, like driving right through it all. So, but I'm here and having a good time. Yeah,
that's
cool.
good.
It's really good.
So the question that was on everybody's mind is, when are we going to get some new Orgy music?
Well, we're already working on it. We've got like 3 or 4 songs ready to go. When we get back to LA, I'll be doing some vocals for that. And then we're going to come right back out on tour again.
That's awesome. So did I read that you're possibly working with Skrillex?
Skrillex, yeah. I did a song with Skrillex.
Okay.
Yeah. And, that'll probably be the first single.
Okay.
And I'm not exactly sure when that's going to be dropped, but fairly soon.
So do you have a target release date? Is it possibly like sometime before the end of this year?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're talking like, in the summer.
Oh, okay, cool.
For sure, so like right away.
That's good. I think everybody's really anxious for
it's
that.
Gonna be cool, I mean, it's gonna be Orgy, it's gonna be, me doing what I do and these guys doing what they do, and we're all like teaming up and everybody's on it, so it's really cool.
That's good. So where do you think Orgy's music fits, like in the current state of the industry? I'm sure you've witnessed so many changes.
Yeah, there is. There's been a lot of changes. I think the biggest change in music is like, I think people are breaking down genres more and kind of just putting stuff together more, which is something that's how Orgy was started. So I think that's partially why it's time for me to do this again, because people are getting that now. So you can cross this with this and intersect this with that, and I think it's.
Do you get like a feeling of like, I told you so?
Yeah, well, no, it's kind of cool. I'm just glad people are starting to do that now, and it made me, that was partially, one of the biggest motivators for getting back out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where the music fits, it's like. It should. It's always going to be it's going to be like what it was before, because it's always what I've done. So take something from now, a little bit from yesterday, and kind of blend those together, and you have Orgy. So I'm going to do a little bit more of that, and so I think that Orgy fans in general will like what we're doing.
That's good. So how did the new lineup come together?
Well, talking to the old band guys, the original Orgy lineup, it was just not really happening, and maybe, a couple of them will disagree with that, but basically it wasn't really happening quick enough or whatever. So, and I had always wanted to play with Jamie and do something with Carlton, and so. Carlton and Ashburn are really good friends. They used to be in Dead Sea together, so that was easy, to get those guys involved. And then Jamie, he was doing the Start, and he's in, you'll know us by the Trail of the Dead, and he's like studio drummer. He's on like 50 bands, but he's a really busy guy. But we managed to just kind of work out the schedule, get it all going, and get out here really fast. So. I mean, it really didn't take much time at all once we started, hitting the rehearsal room. So
that's good. It's great to hear that everybody can kind of balance out projects and everything like that.
And the response has been excellent. So
that's good. So which city has been the craziest so far?
The best shows have been like Denver, Flint, Michigan, and at the Machine Shop. And then what else was really good? Irving Plaza was.
I heard that was crazy. We were supposed to go up to that show and move everything here because it was a little closer for us. Yeah. But I heard that was a good one.
Yeah, it was a really good show. Everybody kind of gave it their all, and I think the band just kind of clicked in, on those last, those have been the last block of shows. So I think we're finally getting all the bugs worked out and starting to just kind of come together.
That's good. So creatively, who brings what to the table creatively?
Everybody brings it in this band a lot. Like everybody's into just like exploring the boundaries and holding down what we did before and being able to easily come up with parts and stuff when there's, how do we used to make that sound? Like, it doesn't matter, here, try this, it'll work out. So everybody's been real creative, and, everybody, brings a lot to the table as far as, creativity goes.
That's great. So, lyrically, what inspires you? What types of situations tend to inspire
Anything
you the
from
most?
like my dog to like whatever's going on that morning to whatever, and it's always been, again, the orgy thing, just kind of throwing things together. It's potluck.
It's almost like a mosaic.
Yeah.
So is there a place or an area that you would like to tour that you haven't been to yet?
Yes, Europe, Japan.
Not been to Europe, really?
No,
Wow.
I've done press in Europe and stuff
Okay.
like that, but never made it over there for the show yet, so it's time for that.
Yeah, no doubt. So do you have a personal, like a standout music memory? Like something that kind of lives on in your memory?
There's so many. There's really way too many to even think about. I mean, I remember when I was like a little kid, my mom took me to see B.B. King or something, and like he like picked me up, and
Oh, wow.
I remember it, like it was yesterday. But there's so many of those like weird, odd moments that like this could never happen to somebody in a lifetime, but it's happened to me so many times. It's like been very blessed, so to speak. So.
Awesome. So personally, I like to look at music as a universal language that everyone can speak and understand. We might take different messages away, but is there anything in particular that you hope your music speaks to listeners?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain, I guess everybody has a little message they want to deliver and stuff, but like, I've always been into like, more so than the lyrical content. Like, I just want people to like listen to things, you know what I mean, and like take a little journey. I like people to make up what they want it to be. So that's why I leave the lyrics like somewhat open to to people, for people to interpret and use their imaginations. I think if anything, I could profess or like say to people that be like take this and make it yours. You know what I mean?
So have you ever had anybody come back at you with something completely off the wall?
All the time, and I love that. I think it's like so cool when someone's like, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, wow, that's about my dog, But it's cool. It's cool, because like I said, that's what it's there for. It's there for people to, kind of take it and paint their own picture of.
Absolutely. So what has been one of your biggest career challenges, and how have you overcome that?
Getting back out after 7 years has been, definitely one of my biggest challenges. Just because you're just never sure how it's going to go, but I think the biggest challenge is letting people know that we're actually doing it again. I don't think people are even believing that, people are like, yeah, they're playing, and like, come on, they haven't played in like 7 years, so even for like our booking agent and everything, it's like, it's been hard for people to really, I notice like when the shows are promoted, like people totally show up, and the place will sell out, but if they don't know you're coming, then it's hard to do that, and so I try to do as much press and as much radio and stuff like that as I can, so to get the word out there again. But
Of course.
It's been difficult trying to get over the 7 year, like we've been got 7 year hiatus, and then like, hey, we're back.
So throughout the 7 years, what have you personally kind of been up to?
Like I said, I had a kid, and he's 7 now, so so him and producing other bands and doing this whole DJ thing, and I go like kilowatt when I do that, and just getting into dubstep and new dance stuff, EDM.
That's the it thing right now.
Yeah. It's kind of like the new rock, That's where all the other people are soon to be,
I know, it makes me so sad when I hear people say that like rock is like a dying,
It's one of those things that'll never die, but like, but it goes through its moments where it's just like it gets put on like a hiatus as well. It's like it gets put on the back burner, and as it should. Like I think that new things should always be introduced, and I think that you just can't be a rock dude out for the rest of your life. Like, you just can't do it. Like, it just doesn't get you anywhere. And it's like, rock out, man. Like, it's just not gonna work.
At least not anymore.
No, it's not. Yeah, back in the 80s and 90s, you could do that stuff, and and that was it, you know, and then I think the plug got pulled and the rug got pulled out from a lot of people, and they were like, oh shit, I gotta do something, you know,
Right.
what are they gonna do, you know, so, but I've always been a believer in just, you know, you just move on with it, you know, don't cry about spilled milk, you just gotta move on with it, and get on with it, damn it.
So, I mean, you've seen this uprise of social media. Like, how's that been a toll now? Because obviously it wasn't there before.
You know, it was definitely 3 or 4 years ago. Like that was just the way to do it, because like, you know, it was still like new to people and stuff, and it's gotten poured out and exploited like everything else. And so there's going to be new mediums and new ways of getting stuff to people, and I'm always looking for that kind of thing. But I mean, you know, I can tweet this and tweet that and Facebook this and Facebook that, but it's really like, it's so blown out already that it's just like, you know, the keywords, the tags and all that stuff, it's just kind of like, you know, it's not as, I mean, it works, but it's not as, you know, the viral things don't happen as like, whoa, crazy as they did for a while. You know what I'm saying?
I know,
it's
I
not
get
such
you.
a big deal now. People like kind of are used to it, and it's just like, it's just like everything else now. So, you know, creating new ways of getting to people is still something that I'm always looking for.
Yeah, it's definitely become the norm. And I mean, it's still the quick way to share things, but I think it's so hard now to manage. Like, so many accounts, like you have like a Twitter and a Facebook and this, that.
That's why you gotta, like, you know, you gotta just do all that from one place and just like, you know, like let an application kind of fill in the blanks for you, so it's all.
There's the genius idea. Find one that just will do all of that.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I do now. So it's gonna be much easier. You know, you know, when the internet's available and things like that. You know, obviously, some places it's still like archaic, where it's just like you can't get to it. You know, but I try to do that. You know, just try to update people on what's going on and stuff like that as much as I can.
So, being that we're a pop culture website, is there a particular area of current pop culture that either angers or fascinates you in any way?
God, there's a lot of it depends on in what sense, you know, there's lots of things that fascinate me. You know, I'm fascinated by the economy, you know, and it pisses me off. And you know, I'm fascinated by, you know, how will music get, you know, delivered to people, you know, after the MP3 boom, or is it just going to stay that way? You know, like, I mean, there's questions I ask myself all the time about it. So I want to make the new box, device, whatever, you got to play it through it so you can sell it again. You know what I mean? Because like that's how all of us survive. You know. And digital downloads is great. I have nothing against that. And, you know, I don't have any problem with Napster or downloading or any of that stuff. I mean, I got it. You know, like I said, you can't cry over spilled milk. You just gotta roll with it.
Yeah, I think they're just now starting to find ways to kind of quantify like different amounts of sales and things like that, like through digital downloads, even through, you know, we were talking about Rock Band, like video games, like they're downloading artist tracks for playing these games and everything now, and you know, they're like, oh, we have like this number of sales, like through Rock Band, if they could find some way to actually put that on paper and go, this is what we're doing now.
Right. Yeah, it's just tough because, you know, there's not like a counter on a little kid's Xbox.
Exactly.
You know, reset and, you know. So, and if there was, there'd be a way to crack it and stuff like that too. So it's you know, no point in trying to do it that way. There's just got to be. I have every every bit of faith in the people that love money, you know, and that you know, the big powerhouses of music will figure out ways to charge people for it or crack down on people downloading it and bust it. They'll get every last cent out of them somehow.
Of course.
So, and you know, it's coming. So it's already happening. Guys are getting like arrested like all over the world. Like, you know, when they got upload or whatever, those guys are getting busted like hardcore. And I mean, you know, and for whatever reason, you know, it's like, you know, like I said, like I don't mind giving people some music. You know, it's like as long as you can get it to them, that's the main thing. But it is nice to be able to pay your cell phone bill, and,
Yeah.
and things like that as well.
So would you say the way to go now on this is to, I mean, a lot of bands I see now, like, releasing, like, 1 or 2 songs, like, or an EP before releasing, like, a full-length album, kind of to give the fans a taste of things and kind of compete with that download.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool, like, to give it to them, and it's so weird, like, people will actually buy it, too. It's so it happens to me, like, somebody will give away something, I'll download it, and I'll be like, oh, I like the record, I'm going to get the whole record, and then that song that they were giving away is part of the record, and so you're paying for it anyway, so that's a kind of cool thing. I think that's cool.
So are we going to see Orgy pop up at any festivals this summer or anything like that?
You mean overseas or like here in the States?
Either or, really.
The likelihood of that in the States is probably better, although we are definitely going to be getting overseas as soon as this record comes out, but I think we're a little late on some of the festivals over there, so as far as getting booked. But we're working on some things like
the
that.
The States are really starting to get some good ones.
Yeah, for sure. I think, the likelihood of seeing us on that is pretty good, so I'll see some of the ones in the States.
So what are some of your other goals for 2012?
For it not to be the end of the world, and that would suck, but I'm not too worried about that actually. Just to get back out there and make the Orgy brand happen again, and do my kilowatt thing, and raise my kid, and hope that he does good in school and stuff like that. But some fairly responsible goals. That's about it.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time to speak with us.
No problem. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Is there any, final message or comment you'd like to share?
No, man. Have a good time and come to the shows.
Great.
All right. Yeah, nice to meet you guys.